Welcome, my friends of the interwebs. So I wake up this morning, the morning after day 2 of the Democratic National Convention, and do what I normally do. Go through the news and drink some coffee and visit my Facebook. Now you have to understand, I live in Toledo, Ohio. Toledo, Ohio is basically the San Francisco of the Midwest. We're an hour south of Detroit. Most people rely on UAW jobs here, and so I'm basically in the belly of the beast. I'm surrounded by left-wing loons. So when I go to my Facebook, what do I see? Friends that I've known my entire freaking life blabbering on about how Bill Clinton killed it. Bill Clinton kicked it, hit it out of the park. And basically, that was it. The election was over. Just go ahead and anoint Barack Obama for another 4 years to being president. And but in fact, anoint him being king. He's now king of all of North America, including Mexico. I don't, it just kills me when I see these people get all in a froth over a man who is a perjurer, a liar, a serial rapist, incredible serial rapist. I could go down the whole list of things that he is, and it just, I couldn't take it. I'm reading this nonsense, so I couldn't help but to remember, if you watched my last video, and I hope more of you do, because clearly not enough of you have, and if I've got to sit through these damn Democratic conventions, I wish people would at least watch my analysis. But, I understand when you see Democratic National Convention, your knee-jerk reaction is, I don't want to see any of that shit. But please, do me a favor and watch it. So anyway, last night when I'm watching Bill Clinton's speech and he's wagging his finger at the screen and, he's telling us this and he's telling us that, I couldn't help but to think back to when he did the same thing over the Monica Lewinsky thing. So I actually did a little homework, and I came up with his original speech. Believe it or not, you can actually find it verbatim online. So I thought I'd do a little reading, a little light reading for y'all this morning. And I call this Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire. Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire. Now, what I'm about to read you is verbatim what Bill Clinton said to the American people. Looked right at the camera and started wagging that finger. Okay, so I just wanted to give everybody a little walk down memory lane. So here we go. Now I have to go back to work on my State of the Union speech. And I worked on it until pretty late last night. But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank you. End quote. End quote. So, yeah, liar, liar, pants on fire. Listen, this guy, Bill Clinton, he has no issues whatsoever with spewing all kinds of lies. He's full of lies. So he goes into the Democratic National Convention. And the thing that kills me about this is the most, see, the left, I got to be honest with you. It's frustrating because when I observe what the left does, it's nauseating. Here's a group of people. Listen, their platform for day 2 of the convention, the Democratic National Convention, their platform, in a large part, was basically illustrating that apparently there is a Republican war on women. And they paraded feminist after feminist to talk all kinds of smack about how they're being denied, this, they're being denied that, and if the Republicans get elected, they're going to deny women the right to whatever, and we won't be able to get birth control, and we'll all be nothing but baby factories and cum dumpsters and all this other crazy stuff. So it was all about celebrating the woman and illustrating how evil the Republicans are. And then their keynote speaker is William Jefferson Clinton? You gotta be freaking kidding me. How, in what parallel universe does it make sense to go on and on and on with feminist speaker after feminist speaker, illustrating supposedly how evil the right wing is and how if the Republicans get the presidency, they're going to overturn Roe versus Wade. They're going to... How much... In what parallel universe does it make any sense whatsoever to then have your keynote speaker to be Bill Clinton? And not only have Bill Clinton as your keynote speaker, but the place erupt into excitement. It's bizarro world is exactly what it is. It's bizarro world. If your platform's going to be that about women's rights, then why would you have a sexual harasser? By any definition, that's exactly what he did to Monica Lewinsky. And let me remind my liberal friends out there that for years now, as far back as I can remember, and I'm 45 years old, as far back as I can remember, we have been told that if you're at a place of employment and you're a man of management status, and you basically have authority over the people who work under you, and if there's a woman, she is no longer capable of being able to consent to sex because you have that authority over her. And because you have that authority over her and you have the power to hire and fire, then she's not capable of giving consent. In no circumstance is it ever right. And at any time that does happen, whether it's supposedly consensual or not, it's harassment. It's sexual harassment. So what Bill Clinton did in the Oval Office of the United States of America, in our office, is basically sexually harass Monica Lewinsky to the extreme, to the nth degree. Because she was not capable of consenting, because he was clearly her superior and had power over her. Now, listen, these are the rules that the liberals made up. These are the rules that the feminists made up. These are the rules that the National Organization for Women made up, who, by the way, embraced Bill Clinton. Imagine that. It's just bizarro world. I just don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me how they could have Bill Clinton as their keynote speaker after banging on and on and on about women's rights and how the Republicans were going to set women back and blah, 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 blah. So then you put a serial rapist. And by the way, when I say serial rapist, there has always been a lot of credible allegations against Bill Clinton. Paula Jones, ring a bell? Anybody? I mean, there's actually quite a few women out there who've claimed that Bill Clinton has for all intents and purposes, raped them. And so, yeah, so the Democrats thought it was a good idea. I mean, it's amazing to me, and I've watched this over the last several years. The Democrats have these horrible presidents, whether it's Carter or whether it's Clinton, and they try to rehabilitate their presidencies. They try to whitewash all the screwed up things that they did. I mean, with Clinton, it started out as doing his Habitat for Humanity. Forget the fact that he was a horrible president and unemployment was insane. Of course, it's higher today than it was then. Forget the fact that we had what was referred to as the misery index. But you know what? He was building houses for the homeless, and that was a good thing. But it was the road to recovery for his reputation. And then he segued into being a speaker on the national scene. They gave him the Nobel Peace Prize, and oh my God. So everybody's forgotten that Jimmy Carter was the worst president we'd had until Barack Obama. So now you got a situation where Bill Clinton, who is what he is. He's a serial rapist. He's a serial abuser against women. And, now we've got to forget all that stuff and act like that never happened and have the balls to put him as the keynote speaker on a night when it was supposedly all about women. And of course, people say, well, yeah, but he did have a really great economic presidency. He inherited that. Let me tell you something. I'm sick of the left talking about what they inherited. Let me tell you what Bill Clinton inherited. Bill Clinton inherited the dot-com boom, a whole new industry Literally, during his presidency, a whole new industry was created in this country. Not by him, not by Al Gore, but a whole new industry was created that literally pumped billions and billions of dollars into the economy that never existed before. A chimp could have been president during Bill Clinton's time in office and had a freaking fantabulous economy. So the only thing I remember about Bill Clinton as president of the United States is him wagging his finger at the camera and telling us all about how all the allegations were false and how he needed to go back to work for the American people. Thank you. Yeah, only to find out that he's a freaking liar. And by the way, had there not been the dress with his spuge on it, had there not been the dress littered with Bill Clinton's DNA, he'd still be lying to this day, and you know it. So, let me conclude with saying, liar, liar, pants on fire. Have a good day.